What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is April 11th of 2024. I'm here at probably one of my favorite stock trout streams. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite local trout streams at least. And this was open to fishing as of Saturday, when it probably got hammered for opening day. So I'm not sure how good the action is going to be. There's only one individual other than myself that I know of, and it looks like he is leaving now. So that could be a good sign or it could be a bad sign. But we're gonna be looking to get some trout on the board today. So I got the Ugly Stik Elite 6-foot medium light rod here, Shimano Sedona 2500 HG reel. On there we got the 4-pound Leland Lures S.O.S trout line, and for the hook we got the Leland Lures S.O.S, not S.O.S, Leland Lures trout magnet there in watermelon seed color is what we're going to be starting with today. So I'm going to be casting around to these different pools here and seeing if there's any trout in here, and hopefully they didn't get all taken home for dinner, but we are going to find that out here shortly. So I'm just kind of go around and fan cast a little bit and see if I can see any fish. We got something on here. This is not a trout, as a matter of fact. I thought we were going to come across this guy at some point today, but this is a fall fish here. These guys like to follow me around when I'm trout fishing, and they are tough to handle. They're squirmy and they are extra slimy, but that is what the fall fish looks like right there. So pretty little guy, but not what we were after today. So we'll take a shot of him in the event that this is our only fish that we catch today. But this guy is going to be let go here in the water shortly. All right, we just released our fall fish. Now time to get back into the real business here, and that is trout fishing. Sometimes I can get some fish down at the base of this tree here, so we're going to see if that stays true. Just going to cast into that, let the lure sink down a little bit, and then there's a fish. Yep, like I said, there was going to be one in there. It's going to be over this current here, up into the net. Come on, there we go. First fish of the day. Nice little stock rainbow trout here, right where I thought there was going to be a fish. So we're going to go ahead and wet our hands and handle this guy. Beautiful trout, first one of the day. Alright guys, we got our trout unhooked here. We're going to let him go back in the water. We'll release him over here. And he is good to go. Now that happened pretty quickly, so we can try and see if we can get another one out of there. So there's casting right into that current there. Let the trout magnet drift down by the tree there and see if we get attacked. Usually there's a fish or two in here just on the other side where the current's a little bit slower. So let's see if we got anything working over there. Oh, that's a rock. Guys, we got another fish on here, and what do you know? We've seen this guy a couple times before already. It is a fall fish. Alright, let's get the hook out of this guy. He was jumping at first. I thought maybe he was a trout. I didn't have the camera on because action has been pretty slow out here. There he is. Fall fish. He's good to go. I was hoping we're going to find one or two trout held over down here, but nothing so far. Temperature feels like it's dropping a little bit, getting ready for that rainstorm that's supposed to be coming in tonight at some point. May have just had a little bite there. Get a recast on that. There's a fish. That feels like a trout. Is it just a fall fish? It is a fall fish. Look at the colors on that guy. Guess he's still in a spawning mode. Oh, he spit the trout man out for us, so. Alright. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess, the colors on that one. He's got the tubercles on his head there. That's what those little bumps are on the top of his nose there, so we'll take a shot of him and then we're going to let him go. Alright guys, that's our spawning male fall fish there. He's got the tubercles on his head. That's what those little white dots are. It shows that they're in spawning mode, and he is good to go back in the water. The way that fish started fighting, I thought for sure that was going to be a trout. And I saw the red coloration, I was like, alright, that's definitely going to be a rainbow trout there. And nope, it is just another fall fish. Wonder if there's a little school of them over there. Guess not, because we didn't get bit there. Fall fish can be quite aggressive. They don't really have teeth like predatory fish, but they'll definitely chase down a lure like a predatory fish. Yep, there is another one. Turning into more of a fall fish trip than a trout trip. Some type of fish just jumped downstream, but it was small, real small. Finally got a different species of fish here, guys. This one we will definitely take. This is my first one of the year, that being a little smallmouth bass. Not a bad one at all. He's actually got a minnow in his throat, it looks like, or some sort of dead decomposing fish. You might be able to see that. Alright, let's take a shot of this little smallmouth, then we're gonna let him go. Alright guys, last look at our little smallmouth bass there. Not a bad one. He's good to go. Finally something other than a fall fish, but still not a trout. Well guys, I did not think there would be a trout here, but nonetheless there is a nice rainbow trout in this hole. There we go. Got him. I just made a quick little cast here because I thought maybe there was a chance there'd be a trout in here. Just this tiny little hole right here. Got a little pile of weeds up at the shore there. I cast it right behind that, and there he is. Nice little rainbow trout there. Chunky guy too. So let's take a shot and release this guy. Alright guys, second rainbow trout of the day. Nice fish here. We're gonna go ahead and let him back in the water here. And he's good to go off to swim another day. Whew, very cool stuff. Now the reason I was so surprised is because I have never caught a trout out of this hole. Every time I walk by it, I see we got this outflow coming underneath this bridge, and there's always an eddy right here, and there's a bunch of weeds and stuff wrapped up at the head of the hole there, and it creates an eddy. So I cast it right in that stuff and just let it drift through the current pretty much. Slow retrieve, and yeah, there was a trout there. Well, that makes the day a little bit better. Got a nice rainbow trout out of a hole never caught one out of before, so that's always good stuff. Let's see if there's another one in there. Doubtful, but you never know. Well, I made it down to where I usually can find several different species of fish, particularly some holdover trout, and right now I'm noticing that the whole bank, it used to kind of be like curved a little bit around, and there'd be like a rounded section right here where it's nice and slow. that whole bank pretty much just got eroded away, I guess, when all that rain came through, or maybe it had been since then. But looks like we're gonna have a different stream to fish here, so we gotta relearn the holes again. It looks like it's still kind of deep right up against this bank here, but we need to find where the water is the slowest to catch our fish, because they're not going to be in the current too much. They'll just be just off of the current looking for an easy spot to feed. So let's cast up against this clay bank or mud bank, whatever you want to call it, and see if there's any action happening. I assume the deepest part is going to be towards the end here. Grass in the water. We got frogs bellowing behind us. I heard enough frogs in my last video fishing the lower Susquehanna. They were all over the place. Yeah, it definitely gets deeper over here, so just trying to avoid the new snags that have been created, like that one there. Not doing a good job already. Yeah, it did not used to be this deep here. It's like 3 feet or so. Definitely potential for, oh yeah, now it's like 4 feet. Definitely potential for this spot to hold fish here in the future. We just gotta learn where all these new snags are at. Here you guys, trout on. Trout on. There we go. Got him in the net. I think the seal on my waders just came completely undone, so we'll have to try and seal that back up later. But there's trout number 3 on the day. Yet another rainbow trout. Pretty cool. I didn't have the camera turned on, unfortunately, but there we go. It's got the line wrapped around him still. Let's fix that. There we go. Rainbow trout number 3. Going back in the water here. And it's good to go. Alright, just exploring the creek here. I've fished this stretch a number of times before, but this hole was never this long, and that hole behind me was never that deep. So we got more learning to do now that this creek has changed. So let's make another cast in there and see if we can come up with anything. I highly doubt anyone walked down this far and dropped a trout in here, so that leads me to believe that they were washed in here. So if they were washed in, there might be some down further as well. So of course I got my trout magnet stuck on a tree in the next cast. Yeah, I don't think we're getting that one back. That hole's too deep for me to walk through there. Yep, that snaps. Alright, let's get retied and fish the rest of this hole here. The action has been fairly slow casting into this slow moving pockets back here. It's pretty deep, so I would expect that there would be at least something hanging out on one of these rocks that's down here, but as of now I'm not getting anything. I switched to like a white and black trout magnet to try and imitate a bait fish a little more realistically, like a little shiner or something like that, but so far no bites back here. In the spring you would think you would start seeing your sunfish and more bass show up, which definitely would inhabit some habitat like this. Some of the stuff is pretty featureless, which you wouldn't find much fish on, but there are some decent rocks down there that I can see. Oh my gosh, there's a carp right there. Well, at least there's carp. Surprised I didn't accidentally snag one fishing the trout mat along the bottom, because the carp wouldn't even really budge for it. Well guys, I casted a bunch into this pool here, and unfortunately I just could not find any fish. This whole stretch down in here is all deep on the one side, and water's still flowing pretty good. It's not like completely slack water, so I thought we were going to be able to find some fish in here. We saw the one carp, but obviously our luck of getting that to bite on the trout magnet wasn't going to be too good. So that is going to have to do it for today. We ended up with 3 rainbow trout. We caught 3 or 4 fall fish. Forget how many we caught exactly. And then we ended up with 1 smallmouth bass in the mix as well. So 3 species total. Obviously the rainbow trout is what we were after today, but we weren't able to find them in good numbers, so we explored down from where they usually stock and were able to find 2 solid rainbow trout. This creek got pretty much completely reshaped from all the rain we had last week, and probably a storm or 2 before that started the erosion. But that one stretch has completely changed, so we'll have to come back and see if the warmer weather creates any better fishing holes, because you get a little more smallmouth bass and sunfish and all that little stuff showing up more once the water gets warmed up. It's still early April. We just started to touch the 70s a little bit here in southeast Pennsylvania, and it probably won't stay like that. It'll probably dip down into the 60s soon enough. But once the water gets warmed up, we'll start seeing more smallmouth bass and all that good stuff in these creeks, and maybe then these holes will produce a little more. There's a woodpecker up there somewhere. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. Little relaxing morning of creek fishing. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. If we haven't hit it yet, by the time this video uploads, we are just about at 1,000 subscribers. So that'll be a huge milestone for me. So if you guys want to be part of getting me there, that would be much appreciated. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors.